not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Thursday, May 28th. May the 28th be with you. On The Monty Show, as always, we are presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. I say it to you exactly what the advocates talk about all the time. The 100 deadliest days are here. That means the next 100 days, you're going to see more people on the road, more people on bicycles, more kids playing basketball in the driveway, throwing them all around the front yard. You got to slow down, be careful. And if the worst happens, get the best at theadvocates.com, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. So you have nothing to lose. If you're sitting here asking yourself, do I need an attorney? Yes. Should I? Yes. Maybe no. Get to theadvocates.com. Clear, risk-free advice. They have fought the insurance companies. They have beat the insurance companies. They can do that for you at theadvocates.com. Good Thursday. Yeah, I know you're tired of talking about SEC spring meetings, and you're tired of talking about how amazing we are and that we are always right, and all of the jackwagons who told us. Oh, Monty, the Big Ten don't want no free pass, Monty. Remember when we said 28 teams and the Big Ten was proposing 10 AQs and you guys said, no, shut up, stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just not very smart. Your sources are trust me, bruh. Remember all those conversations? I do. Because when I was watching the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday, I didn't watch it. I watched clips and the entire Greg Sankey interview. And I thought it was remarkable that, I'm just Monty making stuff up. I don't actually have sources. And when we say, hey, the Big Ten wants 10 AQs and 28 teams in the playoff, that couldn't possibly be true.
Last year when we left, we did set a direction based on the conversation at that point focused on 16. And I've recited that as our position because we've not taken any other votes to change that position. So that's our focus. What I've never said is, we're ultimately opposed to some other number. 14 was a number that was out there that's been forgotten about. 24 is out there, 20. 28 was out there probably mid-late June last year. With all of those numbers, like we did with the 12-team playoff, the question is, what's the impact? How many teams are brought into the equation in November? How many more games have kind of a high consequence? How many games in whatever setting might have a reduced consequence?
I believe he just said that 28 teams was a number last June. Funny how that works. So when I say, hey, the Big Ten wants socialism, give them that snap card, boy. Right? They want 28 teams. And the Big Ten wants 10 AQs. 10 for the Big Ten, 10 for the SEC, 4 for the Big 12, 4 for the ACC. That's what the Big Ten at one point was pushing. Oh, no, that's not true. There's no evidence of that. Well, now there's evidence of it. Now you have the commissioner of the SEC saying at one point 28 teams was the number. funny how that works. What is in your mind, Jake, what is the ultimate, the biggest, the maximum number of teams you would have in a playoff?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the maximum I would have would be 16, but I wouldn't expand it, unless I absolutely had to. I think expansion is just opening a can of worms that you have to come up with more rules, more regulation. There's just more you have to pile on to a system that already works to some degree. I mean that's the thing that I think we can't forget to. That's the overreaching point, is that with 12 and even with 4, I mean, you had great demand, you had great interest, you had a really good product. Yes, it had some issues, but I do agree with the sentiment that if you keep expanding this thing, you're just opening it up for more problems to come down the pipe. And I don't think the SEC should be vilified for bringing up those concerns, which clearly they are being vilified.
I'm trying to figure out, why do we need more teams? Legitimately, 12 is too many, in my opinion. I think that's already, and if you go to 24, the 25th team is going to be upset about it, right? There's just it never ends. It never ends. And people being upset about it, that's never going to end. Fans being upset is never going to end. It's who we are as human beings. We like to bitch and moan about everything. Everything. You complain about things on a daily basis. We complain about things on a daily basis. My wife has told me, you complain too much. Well, there you go. Notre Dame didn't get in last year. Did I complain? No, I did not. And why not? Yeah, because I don't believe that we should have been in. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
I think if we have to wonder if you're in, I'm going to say you shouldn't be in.
Didn't do enough. Should have won more ball games.
If there's a question, and I just go back to like, you even listen to Mike Elko talk about it. Texas A&M coach Mike Elko talk about 2014.
All right, so I just went through this in the hallway. I'm going to go through this on record. I don't know why you guys ask us. Like, why do you care what we think? Like, it doesn't matter what we think. I've said this before. I think there's two sides to that conversation. I think there's a good of college football where we better be really careful. I don't know why we're trying to become a trophy sport. I don't understand why that's something that we're trying to do. Then there's self-preservation, right? And so if you really ask me on record, what does Mike Elko want? I want 40. Because then I'll make it, and then I won't get fired.
But you will if you don't go deep enough. If it's 40,
that'll take a few years. And then in a few years we'll readjust, and then I'll want something else. Have you not been around this thing long enough?
It's become a joke.
He's not wrong.
It's become a joke. It is. I am telling you, his best point there is, people want 40 so that they don't have to worry about their jobs, because they can say, hey, I made the college football playoff. Right? Like that's what we're doing. Do you understand that this is a welfare state in college football? If you go to 24, if you're not one of the 24 playoff teams, you shouldn't be fired. You should resign.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to me that we're trying to blow this up into some huge number.
Yeah, I mean, people want access, and that's the hard part, is that there's this. I think his best point is it's a two-sided coin, right? It depends who you ask. Like, if you ask the school that's struggling to get in, they're gonna, like, again, it's like with the Big 12. Hey, well, we want 24 because that gives our schools a better chance. But if you're already getting in, why would you want to expand it? And that's the classic, like, schoolyard, fight that we have on our hands with this.
Yeah, I don't think we should be expanding it. There's not a consensus. Now, Greg Sankey's talking about how this will be December, right? And we're just, there's no reason to expand the college football playoff right now today. What good reason can you give me? Well, more teams. That's not a reason. Are deserving teams being left out? I don't believe they are. Who are the aggrieved parties? BYU and Notre Dame. And I could make an argument for the exact same thing. They both lost the 2 games in their season that mattered most.
Yeah.
And I think BYU should have been in. I think BYU was the aggrieved party last year. And yet they both lost games that had they won, they'd have been in.
Right.
And that, in my mind, is where we should be. We should be putting teams in or keeping teams out based on the games they win and lose. Yet we won't do that because it's just not, nope, can't do that. We can't use common sense to make decisions. And at some point, that has to be the bar. That has to be the bar of what goes out. Because I'm telling you all this, I don't think it's hooey or nonsense that we're talking about. Steve Sarkisian said something on Sirius XM yesterday. It made a lot of sense to me.
I'm okay with 16. I'm okay with going back to 4 if you want to know the truth.
Really?
And I'll give you my rationale on that. I really don't care for the number we're at right now because we're in a
12.
We're in,
You just don't like
12.
Yeah.
Because we've become a playoff or bust fan base.
Yeah.
Around the country, but there's not enough spots for us to have that mentality. You can go to 24 and it be playoff or bust, and now it's kind of like, okay, you either did or you didn't. 12's a tough number, especially when it's really not 12. G5's getting a spot, Notre Dame's getting a free spot, so you're really at 10, and then you got some AQs at the other conferences, so your number's really pretty small in a conference like ours.
Yeah.
My point to going back to 4 is this. I'm a big fan and a proponent of the SEC championship game. I think there's something special about that game, and it means a lot. I've got a chance to coach in it 3 times. I've won 2 and I've lost 1. Okay. But if we went back to 4, we could have our own SEC playoff.
We could have our own SEC playoff.
Yeah. Basically minimize the top end, only have a 4-team college football playoff. Have a mini CFP style playoff inside of each conference is what he's inferring as he's talking about the SEC. But essentially, hey, have a mini CFP style tournament inside your own conference, and then the winner of that goes on to play the other 3. Which I don't mind that concept, but I think that's what we've talked about for so long with the conference championship game is that it shouldn't be eliminated. It should be the buffer, the filter of who gets into the CFP. That to me is how the system works well naturally. Like if you said, hey, you're going to build a tournament of sorts for college football, what would be the most logical, common sense way to do it if you have 4 conferences? Well, the obvious, most logical way to do that would be, hey, take the winner of each conference, put them against each other, and the winner of that 4-team setup is the national champion.
But then
That's
why throw shot at Notre Dame?
Well, I don't think he's throwing shot at Notre Dame. I think it's the truth.
So Notre Dame, we just get in because, we're Catholics and we don't want to oppress the religious
Well, no, it's
freedoms
the truth
of
that
college
if
football.
you're ranked high enough, you're in. You have that spot contractually.
So it's not a free spot.
I mean, I would say it's, you got to be ranked high enough, but they're always ranked high enough. That's the baked in portion.
So now you're going to throw shot at Notre Dame.
When's the last time Notre Dame wasn't ranked high enough?
What did the Catholics ever do to you?
Yeah, nothing. That's probably the issue.
Well, when was the last time Notre Dame wasn't ranked high enough? Well, I would say last year when we didn't get in.
Well, you didn't win enough games. That's your problem.
Truth. So they weren't ranked high enough. Now, were they? That's my point. I am.
Notre Dame's the only team that's got that on paper. That's the problem. That's why people call it a free spot.
Right, because we've earned it.
Well,
we've earned it.
Don't complain. Don't complain about the label. That's what everyone's. That's why people call it a free spot because it's on paper.
It's not a free spot.
Well,
they've got to be one of the 12 best teams in the country. And they weren't last year. So they didn't get in. And I think guys like Steve Sarkisian, and he caught a lot of heat for the things that he said there yesterday, like people talking about how he's an overhyped, underachieving head coach. Has Steve Sarkisian done a good job at Texas?
Solid, not great.
Not
great. What?
You're hesitating.
Yeah, he hasn't won a national championship. He hasn't even been in the national championship game.
You're really questioning whether or not that's crazy. Looking at Sark's numbers, he has been.
Why does the bar change? Why are you defending Sark after what you said about Dan? Right? I mean, Dan and Sark are essentially the same guy. They go to the CFP regularly, but they don't win anything. They're the same guy.
Sarkisian is 30-13, and he is 13-3 in the SEC in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
He's
great.
done a good job at Texas. He's done a really good job at Texas.
But
yes, he went to the first round. What did they do? They
beat ASU and then they got beat.
Then they got beat.
Yeah. So
has he won a national championship? No, he hasn't. Is that the bar at Texas? Allegedly, but when's the last time that happened, Vince Young? I think he's done a fantastic job at Texas. I think he is not overhyped. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's a dick for throwing shot at Notre Dame. I mean, and him and Jesus will have a talk about that before he lets him into heaven.
Yeah, I mean, I just think
I said Jesus lets him into heaven.
JC and his dad, yeah.
Because Steve won't get into heaven because he said something
Steve's
bad.
Steve's going to get longhorned at the gates of heaven for not ever going to the national championship game as the head coach at Texas. We understand.
Oh, no, they'll forgive him for being a treasonous fired on the tarmac effer. He wasn't. Right. That was mean. But my point is, you don't talk about Notre Dame like that and then expect to get into heaven. No. What? No. Anyway,
God's name, image, and likeness.
My point is, the SEC controls the cards here, and people are still bitter about it. And I'm curious your guys' thoughts on this, because I think this singular bite yesterday pissed a lot of people off from Greg Sankey.
Let's go back to the Peach Bowl. Was it January 1st, 2022? Field goal sales left. Georgia wins. We're great. The margins are so thin. So Michigan beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl in overtime. Last year, you look at the Texas-Ohio State game. Texas scores, there's a screenplay, breaks the game open. You go to possessions in the red zone, really close, and there's a turnover. And I use those, and this year the ball's in the air, Ole Miss, Miami. I'm standing in the end zone, pretty good grab. That wasn't a Hail Mary, that was an attempt to score a touchdown on the last play. I mean, those are small margins between winning and losing. We prevailed on those small margins a number of times. You think about the onside kick in Phoenix in 2016 against Clemson. You kind of go down the line. We had some blowouts. If you look at the entirety of our league, we are by far the most competitive, the strongest football league, by far.
And it ain't close. And you can't pull data. There are no statistics to the contrary. And it's what is amazing to me is that the Big Ten's won back-to-back national championships with Ohio State and Indiana. And you still have people who are like, oh, well, we've won 2 national championships in a row. We're the best conference. That doesn't make you the best conference. I think if you go on and you win 8 out of 10, you win 10 out of 12, 12 out of 15. Okay, now with long-term sustained success that doesn't involve a bunch of scumbag, fat-ass, happy cheeseburgers for hungry people stealing national championships, breaking into social media accounts, selling
Steeler guy.
Selling vacuums with meta glasses. If all that goes away, sure. But that's never gone away in the Big Ten.
Cheating, lying, and then playing the victim.
It's never gone away in the Big Ten.
No.
So,
No.
I think this conversation about the welfare state of college football is problematic. And I think it waters down the success of college sports in general. And before we get to Brett Yormark, I do think it is important to this Kirby Smart Bite talking about what is actually at stake with college football in this 24 team or what have you, the new entities, like the current state of dysfunction in college sports. Listen to every word that Kirby Smart says.
Biggest concern for our sport is we're going to ruin all the other sports. And people say, well, that's just the way it is. I don't agree with that because we fund Olympic sports at our program. We develop Olympians. We go to class with people that go throw a javelin. We go sit in class to the next to a person that swims and dives. You learn culture by being with those people. But that's the assumption that we're talking about student athletes, which most of y'all would argue in this room that there is no student in the athlete. I still think that the best thing for a young student is to go get a degree and train to be a professional while also training to be a professional athlete. Both of those. We're going to lose that if we keep spending because not everybody can spend at the rate we're spending at.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I don't think there is nothing that needs to be added to that.
Yeah.
And whatever this Cruz Cantwell bill that's going to kill the Super League turns out to be, this BS with the provision that means we have to keep playing terrible football games in week 0 that nobody cares about, that ensures that Texas and Rice still play. Fuck off. We don't need that football game.
Yeah, but the problem is that while we don't need that football game, we also clearly don't have the ability to put something together without congressional, legislature, without them putting stuff down on paper. And that's
there is so much bloat and waste in the Cruz Cantwell bill that just isn't necessary.
Yeah, but I agree with that completely. But the problem is that when you have chaos for as long as there's been chaos in college football specifically, at some point the hyenas are going to start to feed off of that. And the Cruz Cantwell bill, in my opinion, is exactly that. There's a lot of bloat in that bill. There's a lot of stuff that we don't need. But the reason that stuff is in there is because there's opportunity. Because college football and the leaders that be, and Greg Sankey falls into this. He has major responsibility in this, one way or another, fairly or unfairly. You got to figure something out. You got to have an answer. Because if you don't have an answer, the federal government's going to get involved and you're going to get piped. Like that's the
You're
truth.
going to get piped.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. The sport is going to change, and not in that change is going to be out of your control. So the conversation,
it's hard to argue that.
The conversation around who's the best conference. Cool. You want to die on the Big Ten hill, dude? Go knock yourself out, bro. But we've moved on to more important situations, meaning we're talking about the very existence of college football as we know it.
Existential crisis.
I mean, it's true, but it's true. If this bill, I don't think it passes. I don't think it gets major legs to it. But let's say that it did, and now all of a sudden the federal government is regulating college football, and now you got to follow government guidelines. You guys made this happen. If that were to happen, I put that squarely on commissioners, ADs, and presidents for not getting together and saying, hey, we got to do something and we got to make sacrifices and put our pride aside to find a solution that works for the system and works for everybody involved. Because I do agree, while I don't want to see Texas and Rice ever on a football field, I do agree that you can't just create a system that is like, all right, all the people who can afford $40 million rosters are good and taken care of, and we're just going to focus on them. And anyone else who can't afford that or maybe doesn't want to, just piss off, basically. We're not worried about it.
Don't you need integrity in the selection process? Don't we can we all convene around the idea that doing what Ward Manuel tried to do to Ohio State a couple of years ago can never happen again?
Yeah.
Like where you gave a free pass to Penn State and you tried to bury Ohio State, and it just, in my world, I think we have to find a system that puts it on the field. Because if it's all about what happens on the field, the best teams will be involved in the championship process. But currently, human beings with massive bias and you know, the lineage and DNA and modus operandi of cheating scumbags,
So-called experts,
are trying to slant the playing field in their favor. The idea that we've confirmed that the Big Ten allegedly wants 28 teams and 10 AQs at one point tells you all you need to know. If you're the best conference, right, and if all the jackwagon Big Ten fans want to, you know, fire up their masses and argue that they're better than the SEC top to bottom, why are you asking for a 28-team playoff?
Great question.
If you're the best conference, why are you asking for 10 AQs? Because Greg Sankey has all but confirmed that. Right? And they, as we reported on this show, they asked for 28 and they went back and forth between 8 and 10 automatic qualifiers. And it never went anywhere because the SEC is never going to agree to that. Because there is no common sense. 28 teams.
Yeah, I just think that at that point, if you're someone advocating for 24, let's say, or if last summer you were the person that was in support of 28, I think that your view on college football is that you just want as many people as can be involved, because that feels like, you know, hey, we're the sport's going to live on for as long as it possibly can. And I think that what that take misses is the minutia and the speciality of, hey, like when you've only got 4 teams getting in, or let's say 12 currently, you have this dynamic where the Texas-Ohio State game early in the year clearly matters. And the Notre Dame games early in the year clearly matter.
Well, why does Texas not want to play Notre Dame all of a sudden? Because Texas, remember, Texas and Notre Dame have a home at home.
Right.
And Chris Del Conte, the AD at Texas, now said tentatively scheduled. Because Texas doesn't believe that playing Notre Dame is good for business. And that business is making the college football playoff. Because I don't think there's any question if Texas had played Rice last year instead of Ohio State.
Yeah.
If they'd have played a cupcake instead of Ohio State, they would have been in the college football playoff.
And why? Because people believe that hey, well, if you beat Rice 70-0, you're probably level with Ohio State or something. That's what people do naturally and inherently, and that's the problem. And I just think it comes down to this concept of how you want to go about the process. Because in my opinion, I'd rather see. And again, I always defer to the NFL because I think the NFL, from a model standpoint, is about as perfect as it could possibly be, right? It's about as ideal of a situation as it could possibly be. But I just look at the NFL and we just don't have to have these concerns or questions about committees or computers or analytics or anything. And that's the same thing I say about basically any professional sport. It's, hey, man, you guys either won enough games or you didn't. And human beings didn't dictate that, the standings did. And what's hard about it is that I don't, like, in my opinion, I don't want to just, like with the G5 as an example, just say, yeah, you know what, you guys are smaller schools, you don't operate at the level that the power schools do, so we don't really know what's next for you, but, you know, essentially just see you later, right? Like, I don't think that that's proper. I think that the Power Four have a responsibility to at least set them up in a fashion that allows them to be successful on their own. I think there needs to be a piece to that. But ultimately, we got to get to a place where I can watch a college football game in the regular season and I could say, yeah, you know what? Like 9-1 Texas is going to Athens to play, 10-0 Georgia, and winner of this ball game likely tracks himself into, a first round bye, or like we have to be able to do that. And right now we just can't, because it's all left up to a committee that, as you just said, typically is, and it's really impossible for them to be unbiased. Let's be real. We're humans. So that's the problem with the sport. And the biggest thing is, I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you get away from a committee system. That's the issue.
I think you don't. until you just have a super league encompassing or operating inside of a new entity, there's no way to get around that.
Yeah.
It just is, it just is what it is. Before we get to your comments, I'll play one more bite from Greg Sankey that I think probably summarizes this whole thing. Watch what you wish for.
We've used examples from professional sports. When professional sports have added to their postseason, it's always been a small adjustment. 4-12 was monumental, but I think it was justifiable. And you want to be careful about how far you go. And that's understanding the competitive impacts. And maybe you bring more teams into the conversation. And you make a judgment, because that's what I think you'd have to do, that, hey, a game that may not have that same type of leverage, if you will, or that same type of value because both teams could be in, that's minimal, but the ability to bring more teams into the conversation that would have been out creates value in the regular season.
Creates value in the regular season.
Yes.
Because putting 28 teams, 24 teams, 16 teams guts the value of the regular season. Because I think it puts everybody in. So, but that's just me. Maury Alvarez, hello. Last day of school. Let's go. Vacation for teachers coming up, right? Do you guys remember as kids when it was the last day of school?
Yeah, bro.
I remember it more as like an elementary school kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like not having to go to school. I was so excited about it. You get off the bus for the last time that year.
Yeah, last day of school was always movie day. They'd have pizza and basically you were just having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just having a good time. You're cruising. In high school, you're all signing yearbooks,
Yes.
Tom Dean, Brett Yormark has a responsibility to try and do what's best for the Big 12, and those actions might or might not be what's best for sports as a whole. Responsibility and ability are two totally different things.
Yeah.
Because he certainly doesn't have the ability, but he has the responsibility. I agree with that. Is that color you were wearing, Monty? Seafoam or turquoise? It's blue. What do you mean?
I thought it was green.
No, it's yellow. Duh. Hello.
How do you not see the uncanny resemblance? I mean, come on.
I would say 8 is the perfect number, but Miami as the 10 seed makes me feel better about 12 without a G5. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to beat the drum. You need to eliminate the P5. You just need to eliminate the P5.
The G5.
The G5, excuse me. Dana Marie, hello.
Again, what's up, James?
Jeremiah Champion, does the Big Ten not hear what they're saying when it comes out of their mouths? They don't. They don't, and they don't want to own it. Yeah, I definitely don't hate that concept. It actually feels like a way to get everyone to get at least some of what they want. What concept? It was probably too long ago. Probably past it. Jeremy, never heard of you. Guys, perhaps we should all wait until no number is decided before we get worked up about it. Well, I don't think it's a particular number that's getting people worked up. I think it is the fact that we're trying to get everybody in. And not everybody belongs in. Not everybody belongs in. I don't see how 16 works, though. It doesn't. I've said this from the beginning. You're still dumping the conference championship games, but you're not adding enough playoff games to offset the lost income. Anything, I'm with Greg Sankey and others. Steve Sarkisian. Anything that eliminates the conference championship games is bad for business.
Yes.
It's bad for business. Period. That's where I come down on it. Notre Dame was a team that could have won the national championship last year, and they were left out. To me, that means we need more teams. No, they were left out because they lost the only 2 games that mattered.
See, and that's what I agree with. I think that it's the concept of, hey, it's supposed to be the best teams in college football. And while Notre Dame was left out, how can you say, well, they didn't win those games, so they don't get the right to say that they were one of the best teams. It's the same way as as any other squad who did not win a game of leverage, did not execute enough in a game of leverage to earn their spot in the CFP.
That's right.
And I just think it's I don't know why. Look, I understand that the monetary side of this conversation is the one that matters the most, right? That's where all of the anxiety is born for people arguing this point. Hey, we need 24 because schools need to be making more money. Right, but just like anything else in life, if you want to make more money, typically you're going to have to spend some money to allow yourself to make more money, right? Rising tide raises all ships. The problem is that in this scenario, you have like you don't have the same level of commitment across the board. If this was a situation where every single school, all 128 in FBS were all spending the same percentage, not the same amount of money, but the same percentage on athletics of their overall budget, and the commitment was the same, no matter if you were running a $100 million budget or a $20 million budget, but the commitment was the same, then I would say, okay, all right, cool. You have less to work with, but your percentage is the same. I understand it. You're trying to win. You have less to work with. You're committed.
Yes.
Then I would be like, all right, well, yeah, let's open it up a little bit. These guys have less to work with. They're doing everything they can. If they had $40 million rosters, they'd probably be beating your ass too. But that's not the case. We have schools out there. We have athletic departments out there that could be spending $40 million a year that are not spending $40 million a year. So why do we have welfare in college football? Why are we trying to push forward a socialism concept? Because those very same people want to get the checks coming in, but they don't want to write the checks going out. And for that, I can't support a 2014 playoff. That just can't happen ever.
28 with 10 AQs. That's
28, 40, 24, 14, 6. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous at this point.
If you have the best conference from top to bottom and it's not even close, then there should be no excuse as to why you don't have two SEC teams playing. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just a silly take, Mike. And I've been seeing your comments today, and you're in a bad mood. So I'm not surprised.
Is he in a bad mood?
Yeah, today's the day he's in a bad mood. Yeah.
Okay. Sankey is over here speaking gospel. I think Greg Sankey speaks very plainly. And I would agree that, but I've been saying this for how long? I think the SEC is the best total sports conference, and I think it's not close in football. I think you have more depth, winning championships, and the idea that you have to have both of your teams in the national championship game to define how great your league is come on. You're being ridiculous. Norwich Kook, the SEC is still the best overall football conference, but I think NIL is leveling the playing field. The SEC halves cannot stack talent. The SEC halves cannot stack talent like before. I would agree with that, especially because grandma won't let me go to Oxford.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Randy Riding, hello. The welfare state of college football. Notre Dame being the only team with contractually included if ranked 12 or above. Yeah, I just disagree with that. I think Notre Dame, I would like to see any other university do what Notre Dame has to do every year. Like the Texas schedule thing. You put Texas on your schedule in 28 and 29, I think it is. Great matchup. Home and home, great matchup. Texas is going to cancel because you're too good. And they don't want to lose a game. They'd rather play,
nobody.
Abilene. They'd rather play Abilene than Notre Dame. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. And I don't know how you fix that. Well, you go to 30-16 playoff, Monty. Probably. Whoa. Comment dump. Jake, you guys have not moved on. You guys are the ones bringing it up regularly. Are we, though? Yeah, Mike, you okay today? You seem kind of cranky and stuff. Ryan Duffy, I'm trying to turn the page on being a red ass daily.
Well.
Okay. I think if you cut the G5 teams, the 12-team playoff is fantastic with a few tweaks. Month delay, more home playoff games. Yeah, I think the G5 has no spot in this conversation. None whatsoever. At all. They shouldn't be here. Well, but Ken, I totally disagree. I don't think it's a no-go at all.
No, I think it's not verbalizing it as cutting the G6, I think is a rough way to say it. What needs to take place is they need to work with the G6 to say, okay, this is what you guys should do. And the G6, and again, the Pac-12 is infamous for this. The G6 wants to say, hey, well, we should be able to compete with you guys and we want to compete for national championships. But the problem is that a lot of the G6 don't and are not interested in that. There's a select group that are. So they have to come up with a way to put in a process, and this is why I advocated for the G6 just to simply have their own CFP model of sorts to crown a champion of the G6. And in my opinion, that one team who is crowned the best G6 should get into the CFP. One team.
Yes.
And they should get there after beating everybody else in their tournament. And the G6 should be doing away with conference championship games because they should institute that model. And the conference champion would be crowned just simply through having the best record after the last week of the season. And then at that point, your 6 teams would compete on one weekend in a tournament to figure it out or whatever. Like, I don't know, like you come up with a process, but the point is the best G6 team, in my opinion, should have one place in the CFP to compete. And that's what it is.
Marcus makes a good point about people being tired of this topic. What else should we be talking about? I agree. Like if you are mainly a football show and you're not talking about this, I don't know what else you're talking about. You want me to talk about the Bears Stadium situation? You don't care about that. You want me to talk about, okay, power rankings, bro. Here we are. May 28th, Big 12 power rankings, Monty.
Yeah.
Like, this is a huge subject. It is, look at all the views. There's over, 5.6 million views for college football playoff expansion on YouTube. And we should just ignore it. Yeah, should just ignore it. On the last day after all the students are done with their finals, the last 20, 30 minutes of class, we're watching movies and playing games on my Switch.
I like it.
Man, I miss having... Do you guys ever think about how little responsibility you had when you were bitching and moaning about, your girlfriend not letting you practice? Right? Do you guys remember back in the day when mom would be like, hey, get your clothes off the floor, and you'd be like, just throwing a hissy fit over it? Would you not appreciate the fact that your biggest responsibility every day was to pass a math quiz and pick your clothes up off the floor right now today?
Yeah.
Perspective is everything in life, right? I think Greg is setting up to be Super League Commission 2030. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ryan Weichel. Hello.
Yeah, it's not Ryan. It's just Weichel.
Yeah, Weichel, you dick. It's all about power. Sankey loses power if we go to 24. So does ESPN. No, they don't.
Yeah, you're a tinfoiler.
Yeah,
sure.
ESPN loses absolutely no power if we go to 24. That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense at all. I just don't, Nittany Lion Collective, we're committed to it. Oh, are you guys?
You mean Pederass Collective?
Yeah, are you guys in New York City, like recruiting new victims, or?
Yeah, you want to take them to Happy Ending Valley so you can roll around naked in the locker room with the new recruits?
You guys bringing in all that NIL money to put up another statue of Paterno the pedo?
Go play intramurals, brother.
All right, good to see you once a day. Do you think the CFP committee intentionally put 2 G5 teams in the CFP knowing they would fail? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Yes. And give them a reason to not put them in future CFPs. Yes, I do. I think that the G6 is only in the college football playoff to revenue share. That's it.
That's it.
They serve one purpose.
Take a
Warm-up
beating.
games. That's it. Yeah. Tomato cans. Over its history, the NCAA basketball tournament went from 8, 16, 10, and with expansion, the regular season lost part of its value, and it continues to expand and it continues to lose value. Yeah, Mike, do you need a hug? Come here, buddy. I love it. Rock and rant. Hello. I did not have the so-called bipartisan Senate bill potentially being even more ass than the score was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should be giving a ton of legs to that bill until it actually gets somewhere.
I understand it's a long way from passage, but there's so much fat in that bill. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It is. Question is, how did Ted Cruz decide to try and screw Texas and Texas A&M? Is this Cody in his pocket? Could be.
Listen, anything coming out of Cancun Cruz, you know that there's money behind it. So it's just a matter of who.
G6 should absolutely not have an AQ. It's consistently creates a terrible first round game. Totally agree. Totally agree. If the SEC leaves the case and can get the Big Ten to follow. Okay. If the SEC leaves the case and can get the Big Ten to follow, to form their own Lauper conference, do 12 and ACC become another G5? I don't think that's what's being talked about. What I think is being talked about is a new entity that will have an option for any team that wants to be part of it. But there are going to be spending floors and spending caps. There are going to be restrictions on movement, player movement. There are going to be restrictions on how little you can revenue share. There will be minimums for NIL spending. There will be minimums for staffing and infrastructure, stadiums. Because I think one thing is very clear: jersey patches, helmet stickers, field logos, stadium naming rights, that's all getting kicked up to another level.
Yeah.
There's just no question about that. And it has to, because you're going to have bigger made-for-TV games that have to be a revenue stream. Notre Dame and Texas have to play that home-and-home series because it makes people a lot of money. A lot of money. So you need a system where playing Notre Dame, losing to Texas in September isn't a death knell. And everybody's on the same playing field, right? That Michigan doesn't get a free pass into the college football playoff because they're in the Big Ten. That's what we're talking about. And I don't think it's anything other than that. You know. Ken Maynor saw the SEC got rid of their November cupcake games. Actually, Florida didn't. They have Florida State.
So see what he did there? He's basically saying Florida State's ass and they're a cupcake game, even though they're a power team. Yeah.
He's throwing shot at Norvell.
Right. See, that's actually doing a good job in the comment section.
You know, we appreciate that. Man, the grammar, and that was horrible. Whatever, it's summer, LOL. Exactly. The grammar in that damn talk to text. Oh, talk to text is brutal. Dude, it is absolutely brutal.
Keeping a book right now, we ass.
Muldoon, I was raised by a single mom. I was doing laundry the moment I was tall enough to reach into the machine.
Facts.
Love it. Love it. And you know what? As you should, Muldoon, because now you're fully capable and equipped as an adult to clean your own skid marks. Right? I mean, that's
the only question is, are you using liquid or are you using pod detergent? You know, that's the only question.
Who doesn't use pods?
A lot of people don't use pods.
You idiots still pour liquid into a cap and put it in your machine?
Yep.
Wait, are you serious right now?
Yep.
Why wouldn't you use pods?
It's cheaper to use liquid.
No, it's more efficient to use pods. Dippy do. Okay. You put one in the bottom, fill it up with clothes, put one on top. Done. You have okay, so let's recap. You haven't seen The Godfather. Okay, enough said. Yeah, you're the problem here. You're the problem here. You and Chad Carter's well. We should put you at the bottom of Chad Carter's well until you get pods. LOL 2G6 on purpose. Who's wearing the tinfoil hat now?
Not a tinfoil take, dude. They did. That's widely agreed upon.
You know. It
Look
is.
at the comments section, dude. The comment section's here for me right now. You go to the bottom. We got Team Liquid all day long here, bro. This isn't even. Come on.
Shut
dude.
up, Tom. What does Tom know?
Empty. The opposite of full.
Team Liquid. I do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Team Liquid, stupid. Oh, Taco Friday. Yeah, I'm sure it is. You know, I don't know. I use Gain pods. Use the Gain odor sprinkle and later use Gain dryer sheets. Clothing smells awesome.
Okay, I will say odor sprinkles are definitely a game changer. If you know about the odor sprinkle life, game changer, dude. Ones at Costco, amazing.
I don't use them anymore.
Yeah, make your clothes smell amazing, dude.
Well, my farts make my clothes smell amazing, so I don't need them. I don't use dryer sheets and I don't use pods. So
no, you do use pods.
Or I don't use scent sprinkles and I use pods because I'm a real man. Oh, damn. Going back to Liquid, apparently.
Yeah. See, there you go.
It is what it is.
There you go, dude.
James's pods. Enough said.
Yeah. I mean, you might need to be making some adjustments, Monty.
Pods for days. Team Liquid. Liquid for washer, pods for dishwasher. Okay.
Liquid for washer, pods for dishwasher. Yeah.
Okay. I use pods in the dishwasher too. Matchup throwdown. Monty will forever be known as the pod father.
Well,
we really, you guys.
Are you not going to acknowledge my greatness for bringing this up? This is an incredible job by me to curate content live during the show. This is amazing.
So wait, you're curating commenting by admitting you're a douche?
Yeah. Liquids versus pods. This is a classic narrative on the show.
Nobody
team
uses
lean,
liquids.
team stand,
Nobody
how many holes in a
uses liquid.
straw, liquids, pods.
Nobody uses liquid.
Lots of people use liquid, dude. Lots of people.
Let me
dude.
rephrase. Anybody with a set of balls doesn't use liquid.
Well, I guess I'm a sheep then, dude. Peasant life over here.
J54 Go Sooners. What's going on with your Thunder, dude?
What's going on with your Thunder? What's going on with the officials' whistle? How about that?
We got to talk NBA later in the show. Great. Now the Monty Show is a soap opera.
So see what he did there? We're talking about
Soap
dishwasher
opera.
and laundry detergent, but he's saying soap, and it's a double entendre, and it all works together. It's soap opera and soap for dishwasher and clothes and stuff.
James eats pods. Enough said.
Well,
wow.
You know what I mean? James calls Hot Pockets pods, so I get it. I understand.
James also regularly eats at Buc-ee's. So
right.
It is what it is. You can't be wearing a shirt, scratch the shirt like on a sleeve, and it's like scratch and sniff. Instant fragrant odor. I love it.
Bro just said scratch and sniff.
Do you even know what scratch and sniff is?
Dude, we are not talking about scratch and sniff technique on this show. That is below the program standard, dude. That is below program standards.
47 straight. Speaking of liquid, Monty, had any cherries lately? No. And it wasn't liquid. It was sludge.
Okay, slurry. We get it, dude. We get it.
Slurry.
We get it.
No, I miss them dearly. Although I will say my system is resetting after the trauma of the cherry drain.
Ain't no reset.
Bro. That was incredible. Did you are you snot boy today?
A little bit.
Well, maybe if you'd use pods, you wouldn't be. Noel Ramirez, scent sprinkles do smell great. Yeah, they do. No bleach pods. I think bleach is the only liquid used. Never use softeners. No, I don't use softeners either. Pods for the win. Damn right. Ken Maynard, the only pods I want are scheduling pods with conferences.
Remember that terminology when we went through that last year? Wow, there's these pods inside of conferences.
Here's a pod 1 team.
Here's pod 1 and pod 2. Get out of here, dude. That was such a ridiculous time.
Pods are substandard. Okay. The Oklahoma State fan says, Rock and Ran, I have 3 earned degrees. Shut up. Like, bro, nobody, like, do you really take it this seriously?
God's name, image, and likeness.
I get worn out on the, MDiv, RDiv, in my butthole div. Like, guy.
I'm unfamiliar with it.
Hey, James, pods or liquid, bro?
Nobody, he's a pods guy. Nobody is saying you're stupid. And nobody's saying you're uneducated. And nobody gives a rat's ass how many degrees you have. Who cares?
If you can't tell.
Relax.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I got called stupid for using liquid over pods. You're
not stupid. You have brain damage.
Yeah,
you're mentally retarded.
It's just this. It's just no mistake. On.
James,
That's not going to take place here.
just pull the stick out and relax. Like, okay. Jake is right. Pivoted from sports to another topic that gets people going. Good grief. I sounded like James there.
Yeah, careful, dude. Careful, dude. Anytime you're saying that I'm right about something on this show, that's a dangerous game to play.
It's slippery slope. Bro.
Yeah,
I'm here for talking thunder. The only thunder in Oklahoma is when SGA hits the floor.
Yeah.
Embarrassment. This is a team lean versus team stand. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Does a straw have 2 holes? The great Jake debates. Is there enough butter for the toast?
Yes, correct, dude. Correct.
Schmear.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't know why you would buy liquid. Pods is the way. More comments in the chat about liquid pod than about the Big 12. We'll get to the Big 12. Settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down, Tom Dean. Pods were never get that cherry stain out of the white golf pants.
Well,
dude,
that's the untrained eye.
Oh, you stand up and there's just a pile of mud sitting there, dude. It'll change your life,
bro,
and your weight. Now let's do dryer versus hanging the clothes outside. Who hangs their clothes outside?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no.
There's nothing below the chat program standard. No, there's not.
I know.
There really isn't. Phil Venzer, the first hour of the Monty Show sponsored by Tide. Exactly right. Hey, jerk face. The Cubs won yesterday. You got nothing to say about the Cubs now?
Roll Tide.
Yeah, are they going to finish building your baseball stadium for your beloved Oakland A's?
Loser.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, James. As a PhD in pods, exactly right.
Okay. Yes,
James, you just take everything so seriously, dude. Just relax. Have some fun with it. Break balls, right?
Or pods.
The only reason Rock and Rant doesn't use pods is because his arms are too short to get inside the bucket.
Yeah.
See, that's a short arms.
Yeah. That's a Ruben Bain reference.
His arms are short.
Yeah.
Like
He's a short arm guy. Yeah.
I'm a fucking T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Pods. We don't need no stinking pods. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. As they say in Tuscaloosa, pod tide.
Roll Tide.
Exactly. Jake, you're welcome for the engagement. Didn't know I was doing going to derail the show, but happy to help. Anything that derails the show.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about, dude.
Moose go blue. Nobody cares what the Big 12 thinks. They're irrelevant, just like the ACC.
Oh man, I'm glad Michigan fan could roll back into the chat. That's really
No gas, no break.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Not one person here cares. No Rock and Rant. PhD is for academic purposes.
Bro, we know.
Nobody gives a flying James, I hope for you one day that I hope one day you can just let go of the, hey, look at the letters after my name. Right? Like just bro, we're just a bunch of dudes playing golf, talking shit. That's all it is.
Excellent strategy, sir.
Right? Like that's all this show ever is. We're just chilling in the cut, bruh. Like just, this topic
kick it will flow
is causing brain damage to all of us. Like we did in fact eat a pod. I believe it does.
Yeah.
I believe it does. Just relax, James.
Yeah.
It's Thursday. The weekend's almost here.
Yeah.
Relax. Jake, what do you got going on this weekend? Any big plans?
Just road tripping across the country this weekend. So,
no
big deal.
Are you a fan of Brett Yormark?
Yes.
Has he done a good job for the Big 12?
Yes, he has. And you guys are about to hear a masterclass in speaking on your conference.
Barack Obama, the commissioner of the Big 12.
I mean, I can't deny the allegations, dude. He does have some of the talking cadences that Barack had.
Hey, Barack Hussein Yormark, where's the Big 12 right now?
We're a different league. We lean into our point of differentiation. When I got here, in the summer of 22, I saw great bones, but the conference needed to be reimagined and reinvented. And I think we've done that. And, when I think about building companies, because I've done it previously, I think about it in 3 different phases. First, you stabilize, which we did. And the impetus for stabilization was going early on our TV deal with Fox and ESPN. Then you've got to build. And we did that both internally, the infrastructure, the human capital resources. And then we did that externally, obviously, with the composition and adding the 4 corner schools. Now we are in total growth mode. And I love the trajectory of the conference. I love the fact that we're getting on the consciousness of current and future student athletes. I love the fact that we reside, within the business community, but we also connect to culture, which is critically important to us. And I love the cohesion of our board. I mean, it took a little while, obviously we have 8 new schools in the last 3 years, but I love the trajectory of this conference, where we're going, how we're building, and spending, in addition to making sure that we're refining everything from a conference perspective, spending a lot of time on some of the national issues, which of course we're all addressing.
Yeah. Brett Yormark is orally gifted.
I'm sorry. Did you just say bro was orally gifted?
Yeah, he's a good speaker. What? Is he right though? Is the Big 12 going in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I can agree the Big 12 is going in the right direction. I think from the commissioner's office it is. I think from a business standpoint, they're doing everything that they can do, right? They are, he's doing deals, he's curating business, he's curating opportunity. So like from his perspective, yeah, I think the Big 12 is going the right direction. But if we're being honest about athletics and football and like what we're seeing performance-wise out of the conference, as we've talked about so many days on this show over the last 6 weeks, it's not good enough right now. And it's not going the right direction when Tech is your only team in. And now that very same team is riddled with drama and issues in this offseason. And it's really not a good sign when you had 2 teams that were competitive and one got left out and the other one only made it because they won the conference championship. So that's where I would say I'm not sure the conference is going the right direction in that standpoint.
I would agree with that. And I'm curious on what does the gifted orally Brett Yormark say about growth and revenue in the Big 12?
Talking about growing, expanding your conference. As in adding, you're talking in a different
my
type
reference
of
to growth is how do we grow resources and create value for our member institutions?
Okay.
And you've got to be ready for that moment, which we are, and we've been building towards it. And
when you say that moment, I'm sorry, that moment where conference alignments potentially change?
Listen, I love the composition of this conference. Okay, so there's no focus on realignment. For me, it's all about growth. And when I think about growth is how do I create value, material value, resources, okay, for our member institutions. And we're doing that commercially. We took all of our commercial business in-house. We're controlling all revenue from a conference perspective, very different than, some of my colleagues. And we're very aggressive about going into the marketplace, creating a point of difference, and getting people to vote yes for the Big 12.
Vote yes, Big 12, 2028.
So, he's doing a really good job. Obviously, he's a really good speaker, right?
Yes.
Clearly. But
this league's not going in the right direction.
No, and that's part of where. So it's difficult because I don't expect Brett Yormark to sit up there and say, yeah, well, we've been asked on the football field, but man, I'm the commissioner and I'm doing an amazing job. Obviously, he's never going to say that. But and obviously, it's his job to try to push the narrative forward about the conference in a positive way. And that's why I say if you take a step back and you appreciate Brett for what he is, which is the commissioner of the Big 12, he's doing a great job. You can't deny that. You can't skip over that. For what he's got to work with, that's what he's crushing it. And I think that the question I have is when he talks about growth and when he talks about revenue and really getting this conference to continue to move forward, I think his biggest fight and the hill he's got to die on is getting more of his member institutions bought into actually winning and being competitive and actually doing things the right way. And that's the hard part with the Big 12 is that I feel like there just is not that edge that we always talk about. And I feel like in the SEC there is, because again, we've heard from Sankey today, Kirby, Sark, you've heard from Lane this week. There's a lot of guys in that conference who know that if they don't win, their ass is on the line, dude. And in the Big 12, I just don't feel like you have that same, that same seriousness, that same level of commitment from leadership at these different universities. So I do agree that, and it's unfortunate and it does frustrate me a bit, but you can't get away from it. Yeah, he sounds like a guy that's championing the messaging for the Big 12, but he doesn't actually have the traction behind it for people to believe him. And that's, I'm not saying he's lying or being disingenuous. It's his job to do this, but you can't escape that fact, bro. You can't get over, yeah, you've got this amazing commissioner who's really well spoken and just absolutely crushing it for you, and you guys can't get your stuff together on the football field enough to support him and allow him to go out and do what he needs to do. And that's why the Big 12 is where they are.
All right, you guys, in the comments section, is the Big 12, the question I couldn't get away from last night, and I'm quite literally thinking about this. I woke up for whatever reason. I felt like I heard something at 1:43 this morning. And what was I thinking about? Is the Big 12 healthy? How am I going to pass this real estate exam? You're probably not. Okay, but is the Big 12 healthy, Monty? Well, I don't know. Is it fee simple or is it leasehold? Right? These are the things that go through my mind at 1:43 in the morning. Is the Big 12 healthy? And if you guys want to keep throwing shot at James with your PhDs, my PhD is on the record, TBH, with all due respect.
Here we go. I
have a PhD in ass.
Sass.
James, is it D chart or Chartman? Exactly.
Chartman.
Phil Venzer, of course, we don't talk about Jake's golf slice.
I don't run from it, dog. I put out two shorts yesterday that I hit the driver like ass over the weekend, bro. Because I did.
Your
it was
swing
terrible.
Your swing is terrible right now.
Yeah, it's awful because I don't have a lot of time to practice, and it just is what it is, man. It's not. I'm not. I've never been the guy that runs from. Yeah, I struggle off the tee. The driver is my nemesis. I can get out of pretty much any chipping situation. Yeah. I can hit irons good enough, but the driver is my nemesis. There's no question about it, dude.
Well enough. Damn Pervin Meyer over there with the look of how can I get some tail later? Okay. Hype man hyping, yes. Huge fan of Yormark, but y'all's take on the glass court a few months ago wasn't harsh enough. That was abomination. Damn it. Got me red ass again.
Okay, what makes you say, but I'm genuinely asking you, bro, why do you say it was an abomination? Because I think respectfully, I'm not trying to get after you, but I think that's being a bit dramatic. I think that I agree that the construction of it wasn't great. Like like all those photos that came out of the cracks in the floor, not the cracks, the seam between each panel.
Yes.
The seams between the panels and like the rubber putty they used to connect them all together, and just like how that looked was a bad look for the conference. I agree that the traction that the plexi provides the players was not good enough. But to say it's an abomination, I think is really strong. I think the concept of it is elite. I think that the floor idea is really cool, but you have to have it. You got to be able to execute it in a way that doesn't change the playing environment for the player. And that's what I said before they put that floor in. I said it afterwards. I love the idea. But again, the floor embodies my exact point about Brett Yormark. You've got a guy in Brett Yormark who's a visionary, who's a great speaker, is pushing ad revenue forward through things like the plexi floor.
They made money on it.
But you guys can't execute it properly to the point where you had to go back to the wood floor mid-tournament. That's a bad look, dude.
Yeah. But I like that he's not scared to say, hey, this isn't good enough. We're going back to the wood floor.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the right thing to do. Rock and rant. Brett is betting on the Big 12, just like Sorsby wanted to. So that's a Brendan Sorsby moment.
Oh, bro, that's tough, but that's so well done, dude.
Mike Smith, it's clear. Many people don't like it, but it's clear. There is the P4 and there is the P2. ACC and Big 12 has a huge uphill battle to get on level with the SEC and the Big 10. I agree. Ken Maynor, orally gifted. Yormark is all about growth. Mike Smith, it grows. Noel Ramirez, are we talking degrees in the chat? I guess I could flaunt my bachelor's degree in biology from UCF.
Yeah.
My guy. Are you using a biology degree? The day I allow Wendy's to decorate my office is the day I question the direction of my life. Dude, a Dave's double right now would be incredible.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat a Dave's double. Moose Go Blue says Big 12 feels left out. Well, this is why I encourage.
Jim Harbaugh did when he started cheating to beat Ohio State. Is that what you mean?
It was cheeseburgers for hungry kids. And listen, they're going to buy vacuums. They might as well get them here.
Yeah. Hoover's probably sponsoring the football program at one point, right?
What about us? We're cool too. Okay. I'd rather be the Big 12 over the ACC. The ACC has two good teams, and the Big 12 is deeper.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. You can't factually say that.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah, you can't factually say that, man.
Interesting take, though. Yeah, I think if you want to keep the G6 relevant, relegation has to be part of the conversation. That's done. Relegation's dead.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Truly, yeah. Ryan, there better be baconators in the office, right?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That is 100%.
I'll never forget.
I've never eaten material I want out of you, bro.
I've never eaten a baconator, truthfully. And
bro,
trust me, I have been fat in my life. I've never eaten a baconator, but certain people on this
100%,
show,
dude. I'm the baconator guy. Knocked
certain
down
people
tons of them.
on this show.
Yep, that's me. Yep, this guy right here.
Porky over there,
fat ass. Yeah.
We used to go up to Big Bear and snowboard when we lived in LA, when we were all young. And there's a Wendy's at the bottom of the hill, and Jake would get a Frosty and a baconator after we were done.
Dude.
And he would absolutely crush that thing like it was Jenny from the block.
Seems like a great opportunity to slip and splash.
Right? My God. Brett is a real OG. Jeremiah, OG stands for orally gifted. There you go.
See what he did there? That's really well done, dude. Real OG, but orally gifted.
You cannot lose the number of teams like the Big 12 has and be close to level with the Big or the SEC. I would totally agree with that. 100%. Brett is the best thing to ever happen to the Big 12. I think we'll find out, because if he quits this league, if he quits his job, you won't be able to say that.
Yeah.
You won't be able to say that. So the optics and national narrative of the Big 12 is better if BYU gets invited instead of a charity G5 team. Hondo P.
Agreed completely.
My ex-brother-in-law made a career of getting degrees. Stupidest man I ever met.
Well,
I'd rather be street smart than book smart. 100% of the time. Monty just needs to contact the Lot Lizard Union to find out which truck stops would be the best purchase for realty purposes.
Holden Middick.
Exactly right. Dude, I'm trying to pass a real estate exam.
I need a dick.
No, I need it to be withdrawn.
I need a dick in me.
Oh, no, that's happening right now.
I just want to thank you all.
Bros, do you know how difficult it is to study for the Hawaii real estate exam is really difficult.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I passed the Arizona real estate exam with flying colors, like one try, boom. It's significantly more difficult than the Arizona real estate exam. Significantly more difficult.
Uh-huh.
And being 59 and 72 mentally makes it more difficult. Jake, to fix that slice, have the feeling that you're swinging out to in and closing the face at impact.
Thanks, bro.
Why didn't you just tell us that?
Man, I mean, that thought never went through my head when I was,
Guys, to fix your slice, you have to fix your back. It all starts with your setup and your backswing. Jake's never going to not hit a slice. It is nice when you find your driver, and we all go through it with the driver. But when you find your driver, I played a course called Gold Mountain on Sunday. Routinely hitting at 300 yards and playing driver wedge. There are a few better feelings.
Yeah, it's a really simple proposition, bro. Like, Nick, I appreciate you trying to help, man. It's not that I don't know what I have to do. It's just a difference of doing it and not doing it. And
practicing.
And practicing.
You have to practice.
Yeah, I just don't get to practice a ton right now. And that'll change. But my biggest issue in golf when I'm playing poorly is I've never been someone that can feel my way through a swing. I have to swing a lot and really work through different positions in the swing, and I can't feel the whole swing in my body. So like my big issue is that my top half spins out, which just throws the club outside. It's not really even the path and all of that isn't really even necessarily the true core issue. The issue is that I love to throw my back shoulder towards the ball naturally, and you just can't do that if you want to hit your driver straight, or really any of them straight. You just can't do it. It's as simple as that.
It's bad. The feeling for me that's fixed it is all of my swings now longer, deeper at the back, and the hands start the downswing.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Hey, by the way, while we're sitting here, TaylorMade sent me a bunch of premium gloves yesterday.
Yeah.
And 3 of them are a woman's regular left-hand medium. No clue what I'm going to do with that. And I would love if somebody would like, if you play golf with your lady, the TaylorMade glove, you guys, is maybe the nicest golf glove I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
It is truly soft, like
leather.
It is awesome. I can't get a toenail inside of this glove, and my wife is an extra large. So yeah, I've got 3 of them. If your lady plays golf, or if you're like Jake and you have tiny, small hands, and now they have to, unless you're Aaron Rye type stuff.
Right. Double glover.
Yep. These gloves are for your left hand. So that would be a right-handed golfer.
Right.
But these are a woman's regular left-hand medium.
Okay.
So I would love to give them away. Trust me when I say the TaylorMade golf accessories are incredible. Okay, yeah, Mrs. Monty adds the caveat that you must send a picture of your wife or girlfriend playing golf. It's not pervy. Yeah, not naked stuff. Anyway, yeah.
Look at that. Sharon's butter knives is in the chat. What? Dude, thanks for showing up.
Keep crying about a 27-9. Now cheating won't save you anymore. Okay. Wow, this got serious. Chewy, but Monty, Kirkland gloves are the best. They're
I'm a big
serviceable
fan.
gloves.
They're serviceable.
Dude, you put on a tailor-made glove, it's a different world. And my wife said that to me last week. Like, hey, Kirkland glove sucks. And I was like, no, I love it. Right? I use Kirkland all the time. And then TaylorMade sent me these gloves. They said we got an envelope yesterday from TaylorMade that was like 10 gloves just in an envelope.
Yeah. Frozen envelopes.
They're really nice gloves. They are really, really nice gloves.
Yeah.
So, why does Michigan fan have to insert themselves in everything like Sharon? It's a good question.
Well done, dude. Really well done, Kenneth. I see what you did there.
Keep defending the perverts at Michigan. Yes. The cops at the school almost had me flagged down for entering because I was a man walking up to the school with a backpack.
Okay.
But was the backpack bedazzled? It's a big question. Moose Go Blue, congrats on your one win in half a decade. You guys have no wins in a decade. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? For sure, Jake, hope you get it fixed. He won't.
Oh, I will. Yeah,
No,
I
you
will.
won't.
I had actually hit it decent earlier in the round. I just was, it's fine.
Ken Maynard, the ACC has won 2 national championships in the last decade. Clemson. And Miami almost won last year. The current Big 12 hasn't won a natty since 1990 with Colorado. Just saying. I love Brett Yormark. I like what Brett Yormark's doing. I don't like where the Big 12 is. You have a bunch of presidents and athletic directors who are terrified to do the right thing. And I know Oak State James hates it. Sonny Dykes, Dave Aranda, the other coaches in this league, the other administrators in this league that won't do what needs to be done. The fact that Texas Tech is crowning themselves, America's team and the best team ever, and you've won nothing. It's like Michigan fan. You've won nothing.
Right.
Right? Like, it's incredible to me. But when I look at Brett Yormark, you know what? You guys remember the Jamie Pollard thing from last week? Here's Jamie Pollard last week.
It's frustrating because collectively the 4 conferences created the CSC. And we spent a lot of money. The 4 commissioners spent a lot of money creating the CSC. And so then to have 2 of the conferences not want to adhere to it is perplexing to me. Because then it's like, well, why did we spend the money? If you didn't want rules, then why did you create this entity? That's what's frustrating to me. The same people that say they want rules only want rules if they don't apply to them. I mean, I said it 3 years ago. Yeah. Let them break away. I'd say I would turn it around and say we should break away from them. Let them go, but they have to go in all their sports and see how fun it is to play baseball and softball and track when it's just the 20 of you. And that's what I think we should do. But I'm one person, and that's probably a little more draconian. But that's how I feel about it. Like, let's quit talking about it. Quit threatening. Go do it. But if you're going to do it, you don't get to just do it in football and then keep all your other sports with us. No, take them all. See how fun it is.
One of the stupidest comments I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
How does Brett Yormark feel about that?
RADs are free to say what they want when they want. But I can't speak for Jamie. I can only say that, listen, as far as I'm concerned, I've been very collegial with my colleagues. I want to see us come together and figure this out as a collective group. We have spent a lot of time, discussing federal legislation, the CSC, and a model that works. And listen, if people believe that they're better off going out on their own, then they've got to pursue what's best for them. I can only speak for the Big 12, and our preference would certainly be, let's stay together, let's work through some of the challenges and issues, and let's land in a better place. But I don't control what my other colleagues do, or for that matter, what their rooms do. I can only speak for the Big 12.
Yeah. This OSU troll in the chats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I was going to let it go, but R&R brought it up again. I like what Brett is doing. The Big 12 needs to get it done on the field. Yeah, you do. And you cannot continue to allow mediocre administration and coaching. You just can't do it. I mean, you literally have had this week SEC coaches worried about getting fired and joking about it.
Yeah.
Does Dave Aranda worry about his job? No. Does
Clearly
Sonny
not.
Dykes worry about his job? No, he gets a contract extension.
How?
It's brutal. It's brutal, man. Nick D. Hello, Nick D. Or maybe we should change that to Nick's D, possessive. Monty and Jake, with Whittingham and Campbell no longer in the Big 12, who's the best coach in the conference?
Gotta be Joey. Joey or Kalani. I mean, I don't really think there's another candidate.
I would say
Kalani.
I would take
over Joey.
Kalani because he's been there longer and he's done it more consistently, and he has so many mountains to climb just to play a football game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's tough. Yeah, I would probably go with Kalani Sitake.
Yeah.
I just think Joey McGuire hasn't done enough, and before they started buying talent, he was a terrible coach.
Yep.
He routinely made the wrong decision. So, program dedication and resources aside, who do you think has the best top to bottom head coaching, ACC or Big 12?
Are we just talking about as a conference?
Man, that's tough.
I mean, I probably would go Big 12, but I think the ACC, I mean, if we're talking about lowest of the lows, you're talking about the dregs of the ACC, right? I mean, obviously you upgraded James Franklin at Virginia Tech. So that's
you have
great.
Bill Belichick at North Carolina too.
Oh man, I'm just so thrilled about what Bro is doing. I think that's a really tough question. I would definitely be more in the camp that I think the Big 12 to me doesn't win enough, but I certainly would rather have, I'd rather have TCU than Duke. I'd rather have, I'd rather have, mid-level. I'd rather have Kenny and ASU than Florida State. What you'd rather have is who's another team in the Big 12 or in the ACC? Brent Key at Georgia Tech. Rhett Lashley at SMU. I'd rather have Rhett Lashley than Sonny Dykes. Yeah.
I'd rather have Brent Key than Dave Aranda.
Yeah.
The problem is you have a lot of new blood in this league as well that, but the other question is a guy like Mike Norvell or Deion Sanders. A guy like Jeff Brom at Louisville is probably the most underrated coach, but I mean, the ACC, I think certainly just sitting here running the numbers.
Yeah, Louisville is always an X factor for the ACC, no doubt.
But where do you rank Dabo? Dabo or Kalani? I'd rather have Kalani. Dabo or Joker face at Utah? I'd rather have Dabo. He's done it. He's won it. Bill Belichick or nobody. I'm not taking Bill Belichick over anybody probably. Willie Fritz or Bill Belichick? Willie Fritz all day.
Yeah.
Right? Hey.
Yeah,
the ACC's. I think the ACC's got better coaching.
Yeah.
But, always take someone seriously when mismatched and unused coat hangers are behind him, right? Right. So which Big 12 team will bolt to the Big 10?
I just don't think that's happening right now, man.
I don't think any.
Yeah.
Dillingham is the best coach in the Big 12, and I'm a Tech alumni. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he's got proving to do still. I think that he's got to get a quarterback. You had Sam Leavitt. Leavitt's gone to LSU now. Scat's gone. You got to show that you can rebuild it.
And then we'll talk about it. Dabo and Clemson struggling hurts them. It does. The top of the ACC is far stronger than the 12, but after the top, the 12 is stronger from 4th to 12th. Probably
Agreed.
True. Should the QF games be on campus instead of New Year's Six bowl games?
I think you should have on-campus games as long as you can in the CFP. I think that the semi and the national championship game should be neutral site because they're huge games. But like, I think you want to have on-campus as long as you can.
You have to reward people for excellence.
Yes.
And I don't think we do that enough.
Agreed. Completely.
You know, like it's in life or in sports. You have to reward people for excellence.
Yeah.
So, Big 12 coaches in order: Kalani, Dillingham, McGuire, Sanders.
I don't know, dude. I think there's a lot of questions about Dion.
I'm not taking Dion over a lot of coaches in this league.
No.
Not after the last couple of years. I'm not, like, if I look at, there's been so much change as well. Boy, that's tough, dude. That's really tough. Joey, Kalani, Willie Fritz at Houston doesn't get enough respect. But I mean, you're new at Kansas State. Sonny Dykes. I just, yeah, it is what it is. I look at Sonny, and people with their head in the sand are going to tell you, oh, most games won since 1962 by a fourth-year coach in the third trimester while his wife is pregnant, and he's the one drinking the Similac. Right? Like, you'll find a way to put lipstick on your pig.
Yeah.
But I look at the Big 12. I mean, I think Willie Fritz is a better coach than Joey McGuire. I think, like, Lance Leipold at Kansas. Am I taking Brett Brennan over Lance Leipold? Probably. What about Satterfield at Cincinnati?
Yeah.
You look at the bottom of this league. I mean, Scott Frost is probably the worst coach in the league. You know, like, what's his name at Iowa State now? Jimmy Rogers. You have so many unproven guys. Like, what is Colin Klein? I would assume he's going to be a good coach, but he's been shown that. Right? Like, Morgan, Scott Frost, Jimmy Rogers, Rich Rod's got to win games. Right? I think that's probably the group at the bottom right now, just because there's so much unproven. But I don't know. I don't hold Sonny Dykes in high regard right now. I don't hold Kenny Dillingham in high regard right now. So you lose that much talent. You better show me that you can grow and develop talent.
Yeah.
But, you know, show me proof Harbaugh cheated.
Okay,
dude,
bro.
Get
the hell out of here.
Fuck
We're
off.
not even, You're just, get out of here.
I hate that we cherry pick stats to prop up an argument. Use the full stats, not a specific range to make it work. I would agree with that. Yeah. Gabriel, hello. Monty and Jake, hope you guys have a great morning so far. It's been okay. You know.
Yeah. Stuff to talk about. That's nice.
Certain members of the comments section are swimming in denial. See what I mean? And before you say they didn't cheat, they were 3 coaches banned from coaching in college for 10 years. Jim Harbaugh has a show cause and multiple level 1. The guy's a scumbag. Like, why are you defending him?
This isn't even a conversation, bro.
Why are you defending him? That I will never understand. Why would you defend him? And then there's Brendan Sorsby, who's going to court to try and apply the rules to thee, but not to me. And then Paul Feinbaum, who Jake loves Paul Feinbaum.
That's why we
Jake
have
wanted
Feinbaum.
Jake sent Paul Feinbaum a text message asking him if he could Diddy party the top of his head.
Venice Parade.
Um,
Venice Parade.
That never happened, and I don't like Feinbaum at all.
Jake hates Paul Feinbaum. Hates him. And he hates him for stuff like this.
I think he should have been suspended for a couple of games, but to keep him out from the whole season, I think is wrong. And while what he did on paper, Greeny, is terrible, we're talking about the NCAA, the most hypocritical organization in the history of mankind, coming down on somebody for gambling while they have their own side gambling deals and while gambling is pervasive everywhere. So 3-game suspension, perhaps, keeping him out for the whole season is wrong.
Do you just wake up and write takes that are dumb? Is that what Paul does? Like, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, we're not talking about the NCAA here. We're talking about Brendan Sorsby. We're not talking about corruption at the NCAA or the NCAA being hypocritical or whatever. Are they? Sure. That's not the conversation we're having, though. Correct. We're talking about a player gambling on their own sport, and the defense is you did that to get closer to your teammates. You might as well just admit that you gambled. You knew it was wrong. My bad, dude. Suspend me and let's move on. I'd have more respect for you if you said, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't feel like I should be banned. Should I be disciplined? Yeah, I made a mistake here. I clearly had an addiction problem. I've gone through rehab. Suspend me half the season. I'm fine with that. I'll do the time. But I'd even have more respect for you if that was the argument. But stop making it about the NCAA. This is Paul Feinbaum doing that is exactly what Brendan Sorsby's doing in his defense. Brendan Sorsby is basically saying, oh, man, dude, I did it to get closer to my teammates. I'm a victim, and I'm going to take advantage of anything that I can or any way how possible. I'm going to take advantage of the NCAA. And Paul wants to make it this weird thing about how the NCAA is somehow corrupt and hypocritical. But just the other day was talking about how the NCAA has no ability to punish people, and that's why the SEC should break. Like, this is why I struggle with really almost any media in our country right now. Like, I can't get behind people who on one hand make their entire living on the SEC and then on the other hand wanna rip the NCAA, even though the NCAA and the SEC are together. Like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah. Sorsby needs the Rose penalty. I don't want him on the football field. Addiction does not go away. No, it doesn't.
Correct.
I think with Brendan Sorsby, it's the same thing. You broke the only rule you can't break. You can't take money from bookies. You can't bet on college football. You can't prop bet like you did. You bet on Indiana. You admit you bet on Indiana. You're done. It's nothing.
It's very black and white. There's no drama here. You did or you didn't. Oh, you did? All right, see you later.
You're done.
Oh, you can prove that you didn't? All right, cool. We can talk about it. But unfortunately, we've got a mountain of paper on our desk here that shows all the transactions that you made from your cellular device in Great American Ballpark on your team. Like, it's just as straightforward as it gets, man. Like, that's my biggest issue. Is that exactly? It's not complicated. And I feel like people, whether it's the gambling thing or anything else that we talk about on this here program, I feel like people won't just say, yeah, you know what? Like, I did this. Yeah, it was a mistake. Probably shouldn't have been doing it. Definitely shouldn't have been doing it. What's my penalty? Give me my penalty so I can get back on the field. Like, that's all it is. I tend to agree with you. Make the decision, deal with the consequence. That's it, dude. Like, I don't know why it's got to be this circus and pony show, man. Just deal with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. Gambling is and has always been among the worst things you can do to your sport as a player. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The answer is always no.
How do you, if you're a football player right now, how do you look at Brendan Sorsby with any kind of respect, being that that's the argument he's going with, that he did it to get closer to his teammates? I mean, that's
because I think it is pervasive in sports. I think athletes gamble all the time, and it's the ones who get caught. And it's why, again, I know the SEC is dreaded and they suck and your mom's house. Totally get it. They're mandating gambling training for all of their athletes.
As they should.
Simple. It's not difficult. It is not difficult. Tech needs to move on from Sorsby. Once they do, the untold story is not the million he owed that Cincinnati knew before the 2025 season was began. Played him anyways. They aren't victims. The $1 million that Brendan Sorsby owes Cincinnati is completely unrelated to gambling. What's one got to do with the other?
I think that if you're a Tech fan, your biggest question should be, why is Cody Campbell doing wrong by Brendan Sorsby, in my opinion? And what I mean is, you went out and you got Brendan Sorsby with your checkbook, and you knew he had the $1 million buyout, and you're unwilling to pay that for him, even though you wanted him to be on your roster. In my opinion, that's what's wrong with college football right now. And if you're Brendan Sorsby, if you said yes to the Texas Tech opportunity under the promise that they would pay the buyout and then they didn't, you got a problem, dude. And that's where I wonder if that's where I just don't give people the benefit of the doubt, because I know how people work when there's corruption working in that.
Correct.
Hey, you're the deal is I come to Tech, you pay the $1 million. Only when we have to, but I'll get on the field and it won't be a big thing. You know, my gambling stuff won't come out. I won't talk about it. But now that it did come out, and I'm guessing it got leaked by Cincinnati because they're pissed about the $1 million. That's my guess. Now that it is out and you're still not paying the $1 million, is Brendan Sorsby at some point going to lean on Tech? Like that, this is the drama that gets created when you do stuff like this.
Self-accountability does not exist.
Yeah.
Does not exist. It's why Jim Harbaugh is a scumbag liar. It's why Ward Manuel is a scumbag liar. It's why Butter Knives is a scumbag liar. It's why when you look at college football, in this particular situation, Brendan Sorsby's fine to say he's a gambling addict, but don't punish me. Look at me. I'm an addict. Put me in rehab. Yeah, I don't think so. I am a big believer that your actions have consequences. Plain and simple.
Yep.
It's very scary how easy it is to gamble nowadays. I can argue that it's easier to gamble than subscribe to Spotify Premium.
Yep.
True. Why is Spotify so difficult? Don't get me started. Cool Moose. Yeah, Cool Moose. You know, you do you. At least Ohio State and the past national champions don't have theirs shrouded in controversy. Michigan didn't win a national championship, so I don't know what you mean by that. You know. Remember that moment in Texas Tech game when Sorsby still hasn't played? Unforgettable. Yeah. I'll never forget it. Joey Binko just tuning in. Wow, Monty is really getting skinny now. Yeah, we're trying. Funny how when TCU used fake signals, the Frogs. No, stop. They didn't use fake signals.
Actually,
that never happened. No, he said now that Stallings is gone, they can't cheat. Yeah, well, turns out they can. You know, hey, look at that. King of Thailand. What's up, dude? Where you been? Boys, good AM to you. It's a great day to be alive. Let's go. How's the 23-year-old girlfriend? You still getting that? Brandon Butler.
Stroking, guys.
I said, are you still getting nothing? Okay.
Juice.
The Sorsby deal was putting all your eggs in the wrong basket. Their whole season was hung around this kid's neck with no thought about his off-field actions.
Facts.
And this is, again, why I continue to ask, did you know and just not give a rat's ass?
My opinion is that's the case.
Or did you not know? Which is worse than knowing and not giving a rat's ass.
I just don't know how they would have had no idea. I would be shocked.
It would be stunning. Was paying for Spotify and had YouTube Premium, got sick of it, migrated for free all of the playlists to YouTube Music, can access them in YouTube TV now too. A couple of $100 saves same tunes. Exactly right. I like Spotify. They're difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, She's 32. My bad. And I'm exhausted most days trying to keep up. I like it. I like it. Ashwagandha will do the job, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Get it done.
Nick's D. Monty and Jake, what would you think about the conference challenge like basketball has? SEC, Big Ten, ACC. They're talking about it. It's openly being talked about. So, Texas Tech has a plan B. Their star freshman QB is going to have to grow up quick. Well, Will Hammond will be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He's actually fine. Will Hammond is better than...
Will Hammond doesn't suck, dude.
He's better than Barron was. Trust me, Will Hammond will be fine. That sounds like a Bill Belichick quote, except for replace 32 with 26.
Well,
or 69.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
We don't need a Big Ten SEC football challenge. We need the Big 12, Big Ten SEC versus ACC so we can get better regular season measurements. Well, what we need is a Super League.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's what we need. So, all right, real quick, can we talk Adam Silver in the NBA? Let's start with that scumbag SGA. Is he a problem for the NBA? Very clearly he is. This flopping thing, do you want to know how bad it's gotten for Shea Gilgeous-Alex's flopper? He sent a cease and desist to Underdog Sports, allegedly, because they were propping his number of flops. That's how bad this has gotten. And he said he doesn't want them doing that. So they sent a cease and desist for his name, image, and likeness. The problem is now that you have the officials so heavily helping OKC.
Yeah.
And OKC just blindly being like, no, we're not getting help from the officials. What? Yeah, you are. And all the flopping is disgusting. And the problem is it's not just SGA anymore. It's Chet. It's their entire roster, right? OKC's a national embarrassment.
Yes.
And then you have huge ears talking about sideline technology because you were calling San Antonio out of bounds when they were not out of bounds. You're calling sideline. They called, I think it's 3 calls, where San Antonio got called for being out of bounds when they clearly were not out of bounds. So Dumbo says they need to use AI to fix it.
There's a difference between selling a call, exaggeration, and a true flop, which is where you're actually fooling the referees. I think sometimes, even as I sit in the stands at games, players may be falling down, players may be reacting to a call, but then to me, if they're not fooling the referees, it's like, okay, that's like the players are taught to sell calls these days. I mean, can officiating get bad? Can officiating get better? Of course. We're always working on that. Can officials get fooled occasionally? We're always looking at that as well. But the officiating is incredible. Just like, if you're a tennis fan and they have what they call Hawkeye, and it's like the animation, and you quickly see, where the line was and the oohs and ahs of the crowd, it touched the line or it was out of bounds. We're going to move to a system like that where that whole category of calls will be automatic, where, it's going to be, Laker ball, Nick ball, whatever it is, Thunder ball, those calls will be done by an AI automated system with cameras lined around the court, and it'll take all of those so-called objective calls out of the hands of the referees.
I mean, that ball clearly hits Chet.
Dude, when's the NBA going to get a new commissioner? Let's just start there. How about we just start there? When are we going to get a commissioner that can actually do something good, that can actually see the game for what it is, improve the game, and get back to allowing defenders to play actual defense and be physical? Because I That's the core issue with the NBA. I don't need to see more scoring. I need to see more competition on the floor. That's what I need. I don't need 110, 109 games. I'd love to see 199, 95, 94. And I would love it to be a thing where you're allowing these guys to be a lot more physical. I'm not saying we need Malice at the Palace level of physicality, but what I am saying we need is the ability to hand fight and hand check and body and battle. And I feel like we're just so enamored with these guys drawing fouls and getting the line and I'm not saying that SGA from a skill set standpoint isn't deserving of being one of the better players in the NBA, but it is true. And I do wonder, hey, like if you didn't have such help with the whistle, who would you be? Like, you're getting to the line so much that it forces me to wonder, hey, would you even be in the MVP conversation at that point without it? And that's what sucks, because I look at his skill set and he is a great mid-range player, man. He's shifty, his technique is really good. And I hate that the whistle and the officials have just watered this thing down so much.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, they've just destroyed it, man.
And it makes you wonder, will they ever get fans like me back? I mean, I'm thrilled the Sonics are coming back to Seattle. This playoff season has been a tremendous disappointment for me. The officiating, I think it's cheating. I think the officials are cheating the San Antonio Spurs, who I think have arguably been as good or a little better than the Thunder.
Yeah.
And who knows what kind of player SGA would be in the postseason if he wasn't getting all this help.
San Antonio will win tonight. They'll win tonight.
We'll see. We shall see. They don't call me a fake fan. I've made it clear about my gripe with Oak State. You're a fake fan. You're an Oklahoma State fan, plain and simple. You're not a TCU fan, and I will not acknowledge your fandom. I just won't do it. And for those of you who don't know, James is going to sit here and tell you now in the comment section, well, I'm a student at TCU. I don't care. You're an Oak State fan. I'm a student in a real estate class. Does that mean I'm no longer a Notre Dame fan? No. Nope. Lopes fan Gabe, shut up about TCU already. Nobody cares. Wow.
Damn.
Goddamn.
What's up, big bro?
Hit the like button, you guys, please. That's amazing. Oak State James, are you still pretending to be a TCU fan? How did we get here? What happened? Okay. The problem is Adam Silver said officiating has been great when the officiating is god awful on a nightly basis. What do you think he's going to say that? He's not going to say that. Gabriel, dude, Adam Silver was on the Pat McAfee show last night, and the word flopping made him cringe. It was uncomfortable to watch. So, Big Sack State James enjoys talking about flopping. Please continue. They should slap SGA with technicals when he bounces off the floor. Yeah. Ryan Duffy, I'm not exaggerating when I say I will only be watching women's softball before NBA game this week.
Dude, it's more competitive. I know it sounds crazy, but it is far more competitive and entertaining.
Nick's D, you want to stop flopping? Throw them out of the game. It's disrespectful. Yeah.
Well, no, I think what you do is you embarrass them on the floor. Don't blow the whistle. Let them make a mockery of themselves and give the advantage to the defender.
And I think you have to fine them after the game. If we're upgrading things to a flagrant foul in that series, fine SGA after the game's over, review the tape, fine him for flopping.
Yep.
Because and now I don't remember, and I probably will be wrong, but I think it was like 3 or 5 times where he fell to the floor without being touched and got a foul call.
Yeah, 10 G's a flop, honestly. And I know that might sound like a lot, but that's nothing to those guys.
My Knickerbockers are really good. I'm here for it because Jake hates Jalen Brunson. I think you don't hate him, do you?
I don't hate him.
Flopping should be considered a delay of game penalty. We'll see. James, we know because you tell us every day and we still don't care. I don't think James understands how overbearing his demon HDiv rectal stuff is. Like the whole TC, it's tiring, James. No, nobody agrees with you that you quit being a fan of Oak State because you enrolled at another college. So now you're only a TCU fan because you're getting peer pressured by your alleged mentors. So,
Yeah.
Brandon Butler, Silver needs to lose his damn job. He needs to go back to his home planet. He's starting to make Manfred look competent.
Yeah, they need to Men in Black that dude.
You're not wrong about that Rob Manfred thing. You're not wrong at all. Like, are you even looking forward to Wemby and SGA tonight?
No, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it. No, I'm not. No.
Will you watch it?
No, mainly because I guess I could watch it on my phone, but I'm not going to have stuff to watch it on.
Jake is moving again, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not going to have my stuff, but it's the Game 7 will be one that is probably must watch if San Antonio finds a way tonight, which I think they will. I think the NBA wants 7 games.
I think the NBA is a massive disappointment over the last 3 seasons, and I've fallen away from it significantly. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So, but remember when the NBA used to review out of bounds calls, and for some reason we cut back on the replays? They wouldn't even review. They would not grant OKC a review or San Antonio a review. It's crazy.
And he was standing right in front of him asking for the review too, which was
crazy,
wild,
crazy. I think Silverman saved the NBA. I don't think Adam Silver saved the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude.
Skeletor doesn't do the job for you anymore, J2.
No, not even close, dude. Bro needs to go back to his planet.
Yeah, Adam Silver is rapidly becoming a poor commissioner. Rapidly. Nick's D. So where was the greatness of the 4th and 5th year seniors in 2019 when your number one defense gave up 62?
Yeah.
Is that a Michigan comment? Welcome to the night here. Big Ears commish really has to go. He's the worst of the big 4 sports.
Yep.
Well, if Rob Manfred has a major work stoppage next year when the owners institute a salary cap, good luck. You're not getting a salary cap.
Nope.
I mean,
no chance.
You're the only major sport without one. But has it served its purpose in the NBA? I guess to a lesser extent, but salary caps now have come with tanking.
Yes.
Right? I don't know
How
what
much to
the
the point
answer
where
is.
now you're celebrating the team that was the tank leader for all those years.
Baseball needs a salary cap to stop the Dodgers from doing what they're doing.
But again, the Dodgers shouldn't be the villain of Major League Baseball. I just, they're doing it the right way.
They're the guy that leverages his LLC so he doesn't have to pay taxes. Okay, let's move on. Nick's D. What y'all won't admit is Stallions. Okay, I'm worn out on it. Jake seems to be under the weather. Dayquil NIL deal coming soon, Jake?
Yeah, should have seen me yesterday, bro. It was worse.
You were way worse yesterday.
Yeah.
You were way worse. J54 Go Sooners. The Spurs have gotten fewer calls against them in this series. 3 out of 5. Bro, that stat means nothing. It's the calls that you don't make. Not allowing San Antonio to review those out of bounds calls. SGA and the whole roster flopping is an embarrassment.
Yes.
How do you co-sign that, dude? How do you co-sign that? When you look at the way you only won game 5 because of flopping. That's the only reason you won that game. You look at the nonsense that Jared McCain pulled. And the fouls that were not, Lugan's Dort is elbowing a guy in the rib cage and not getting called. Jared McCain quite literally throat punches a dude with his forearm. No call.
Yeah.
Continues on over half court, backs that ass up into a dude like it's a lap dance. They call a foul on, was that Stephen Castle? I think they called the foul on. I can't remember.
I think, but I'd have to go back and look.
But
they call the foul.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And or no, it was Dylan Harper.
Yes, Harper.
And then y'all are claiming that Mason Plumlee should be shot by a firing squad because then he went and fouled Jared McCain. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you really think you were going to get a free pass? Just because the officials give you a free pass doesn't mean you get a free pass.
Right.
No chance. What Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing to this league right now is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
What you're doing. And the NBA, like the multiple goaltend no calls.
Incredible.
How do you even justify that?
How do you miss that, dude?
How do you even justify that? Multiple calls where the one, Chet's hand is in the rim. It's in the cylinder. And you're not calling that a goaltend. So you take that with the out of bounds, the not standing on the line, the ball hitting Chet's foot, Chet's goaltend, the other goaltend,
all the flopping,
the Jared McCain, all the SGA. You're getting so much help. Why? And the thing I don't understand is why? Why are you helping Oklahoma City to the detriment of San Antonio? I'll never understand it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's ridiculous.
Jay McClanahan, I think Jake looks like he's ready to shadow box versus looking knocked out a few days ago.
Yeah, man, grinding through, bro. Just it's what you do, bro. You deal with it.
How are you? So you're on the mend here.
Yeah, I would say today I'm better. Yeah, I'm not like 100% clearly, but
what percentage are you?
I would say probably like 60, 70. Okay. Still a little congested, a little bit, but haven't coughed one time today. Nose isn't running, but obviously you can hear I'm congested. Slept really well last night. So still on the medicine, still on the DayQuil train, but it's definitely better.
Yeah. Paxton says, I'll be watching softball today. Texas plays at 1:30 and Tech plays at 11. Okay. Stadium Guy James, who is a student at TCU, so he has quit being an Oak State fan.
Uh-huh.
Adam Silver looks like the guy in the American Gothic painting.
Yeah, I think that the NBA...
I don't disagree with that.
I think that Adam Silver is one of the most unrelatable commissioners we have in all sports, dude. Who is the guy off the floor, if you will? Who is, like, I don't know anything about Adam Silver or who he is, where he came from, why he was the commissioner. I'm sure he's got a whole spaceship. Yeah, like I'm sure he's got a whole resume of experience in the NBA for 20 years or whatever, and he's the perfect guy for the job. The NBA's never been more unlikable, dude, and it's so frustrating.
It's rough right now.
Yeah.
There is no doubt it is rough right now. I don't even disagree. And I think the hard part is there's not going to be an easy fix.
Yeah, you know, the other problem is that with the NBA being where it's at, you know, we have the NHL playoffs going on, but now you've got, you know, sweep after sweep happening. You know, obviously the Avalanche getting swept was insane. You know, Carolina is absolutely dominating Montreal.
Who just didn't show up last night.
Yeah, so like
unbelievable.
So like I just feel like we're getting to the point now where it's like, all right, hockey's over, NBA's over, we've got baseball. All right, cool. When does training camp start? Like, let's just do it. Like, just get me there. Like, let's go.
All right, let's end the show today with Bryce Harper's toothpaste. Jake is so upset about this. Now, Jake, are you what toothpaste do you use?
Crest or Sensodyne.
Sensodyne. Okay. You redeemed yourself.
Yeah.
What
it
do
just
you?
depends what I have. It depends what I have. It's been. I actually really like Sensodyne a lot.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, I think Sensodyne's probably the best, but there are times where it's Crest. I despise Colgate and anything else. It's those two, and that's it.
All right. How do you guys put your toothpaste on your toothbrush? Here's Bryce Harper teaching you how.
Absolutely not, dude. What is this? Who does this, bro? Because I don't. There's no way that you're genuine. We were trying to get to this earlier in the week, and you're telling me that this is how you do your toothpaste.
I used to do this on the regular. I used to do this every day. Yes, I did. And I got to tell you, I don't anymore. Now I don't even know when I changed. But I used to brush my teeth in the shower. And that's when I used to do. That's why I changed, because I stopped brushing my teeth in the shower. I got no battery toothbrush, right? And so this is way easier. This is way easier. But why is it so disturbing to you?
It's just weird, bro. Like, I've literally, before that video, I've never seen anybody ever do it that way. This is right up the pre-workout alley. Those folks that sit in their car when they go to the gym and they've got their whole supplement stack on their passenger seat of their beat-ass Honda, and they pull out the pre-workout and they just take the whole scoop and put it in their mouth.
Just dry scoop that stuff in your mouth.
And then they gulp water and like slosh around their mouth, and then they swallow it whole. Like, I'm like, dude, what are you, a caveman?
Well, you swallow it whole regularly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what are you, a caveman, dude? Like, what is this, bro? Like, I'm not orally gifted the way Yormark is, but my God, dude. Like, I'm not out here, squeezing paste into my mouth every day.
I'm just going to move on. The point is, I don't have a problem with this. If this is how you want to slurp and splash, you should do that. This is akin to the dry scooper, though.
It is. This is crazy.
There are videos on TikTok of dudes dry scooping creatine. Nah, bro. Nope.
I can't.
I choke on Schifflin cookies. I cannot even imagine dry scooping pre-workout. I see dudes doing that with protein powder. Nah, dude.
Absolutely not, dude.
No.
Absolutely, positively not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm the oddball out, but I put it on the toothbrush. I have an electric toothbrush, really nice. Put it on the bristles. I have a certain amount that I like on there. Don't want too much. Don't want too little. Like, I know what it looks like. And the age-old debate used to be, do you wet your toothbrush before you put the paste on it or not? That's the age-old debate. But now we've moved on from, do you just squeeze that thing right into your mouth? And I can't unsee it. That's wild.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Big Daddy Dallas, I've never understood how so few people hit the like button.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, is it that hard, guys?
And then I'll say it like 10 times an hour, and you guys be like, hey, shut up. I'm tired of hearing about the like button.
Yeah,
Mommy.
we're just trying to watch the show. Don't tell us to hit the like button. Actually, we need you to hit the like button, dude.
Yesterday, the big complaint was 2 comments yesterday about AI thumbnails. Stop using. Can we stop with the AI thumbnails? No. Because that's what converts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm just amazed. I would agree. We've had almost 1,000 people watch the show today. And we have 38 likes.
Hit the damn like button, bro.
Hit the like button.
This is not hard.
Hit the like button.
It costs you no money. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button, but people don't do it.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
People don't do it, and it's annoying as hell. And it takes no time to give this show a thumbs up, man. It takes no time, and it really helps the channel grow. But it's fine,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Is he a 10-year-old? No. Gabriel simply says, dude.
That's what I said, bro. That is exactly what I said.
You can only do that when there isn't any toothpaste you can squeeze out. No, dude, trust me. Trust me. It's not nearly as bad as it looks. Team on the brush. I put it on the brush now because, again, I used to do that when I would brush my teeth in the shower. When I was nude in the shower and stuff, and I would brush my teeth. You know, like you're sitting there brushing your teeth in the shower.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And stuff.
Right.
It's disgusting to dry scoop anything.
Why would you do that to yourself, dude? Like, that would be like me opening the pack of vitamin C and pouring that whole thing in my mouth just to
and then chugging water.
Disgusting, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Why is it? Okay, I agree, but it's not that bad. Like with emergency, just pour the packet into a cup of water. Okay.
Yeah.
I only have a bottle of water. Do you want to take an entire bottle of water and make it vitamin C water? Probably not. I mean, I can relate.
Yeah.
There are Gabriel, like, grow up.
Yeah. Like, come on, dude.
Matt, just throw down detergent and toothpaste. Forget PXG. The Monty Show just went full P&G.
Right.
Procter and Gamble.
Right.
Gabriel, I love the slurp and splash drop. Jake does too.
Yeah, it's a good drop, dude. It's a good drop.
Jake was very engorged the day we put that drop in the system.
Yeah, that's the Arby's drop.
Seems like a great opportunity to slurp and splash.
You know.
Yeah.
I'll never understand how people don't understand algorithms.
Yeah, dude. A lot of talk lately out of the creator world, both on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, about how YouTube's algorithm is not exactly favoring people right now. That's getting around now. It's hurting people a lot.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't. I meet pretty regularly with YouTube people, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like one golf short will do 10,000 views. I had a golf short the other day that did 100 views and stopped.
Yeah.
Deleted it, re-uploaded. It doesn't like something about that. Yeah, don't get me started. And the AI, and the AI thumbnails don't look slop. Got to give credit to Jake on that one. It's actually creative. Yeah. Scoop says liquid IV. Yep. A lot of people love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oak State James, tell us your version of brushing your teeth. James doesn't brush his teeth. You know. Gabriel, YouTube algorithm is a mess. It's getting recommended live streams from Russia with 2 views.
Yeah, it's a joke right now, dude.
It is incredibly frustrating as a creator that I do a ton of golf content. The algo thing is just
YouTube needs to change the algo from the gripe right now in the creator world is, hey, well, I'm this creator and I'm making content for a lot of different platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it might be. And the big one right now is Instagram has been seeing a lot of traction because Instagram allows you to do what's basically to have a personal brand. And inside of that brand, you're just doing a lot of different type of content. One day you might be playing golf. Another day you might be driving a car. Another day you're walking your dog. But it's the constant is you, the person. On YouTube, the difference is that YouTube is a search engine based platform, meaning that they want you to stay in one lane and just do that content. So if you're an SEC channel, just do SEC stuff. If you're a Big 12 channel, just do Big 12 stuff, or vice versa. So they do, in my opinion, need to be updating that for sure.
Yeah, I think it is. I asked ChatGPT the other day, what I think I said something like, what does the Monty Show on YouTube talk about?
Mm-hmm.
And ChatGPT told me that YouTube has us classified as a college football channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But it just makes it so that when you go outside of that, it's difficult.
Yeah. It is very difficult. And I think it told me our niche was the business and politics of college football is our niche. So
yeah.
The YouTube algorithm on sports shows is being wonky for sure. No doubt about it.
100%.
No doubt about it.
100%.
So,
yeah.
All right. That's it. Show's over. Jake, are you going to tell the people what you're doing, or are you just not? You don't want to?
Yeah. I have movers coming in 90 minutes. We're packing the house up and moving to Kansas City. Won't miss any shows. Be back on Monday. New background. Not sure what that's going to look like yet. We have I need to vet it out over the weekend. Google Fiber house though, so shouldn't have any issues. So that's good. Be upgrading that. And yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
That's it, bro.
Good luck. Jake's moving to Kansas City. And this is a girlfriend move.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is.
Girlfriend
Yeah.
move? Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we got the movers coming today, and we're trekking out tomorrow.
You're doing a pod move.
Yeah, we're doing pods. Yep. Which I priced it out through several different companies, 5 or 6 different companies, and pods was the cheapest, and I got a discount because I'm a Costco member. So
so pods gives you a discount because you're a Costco member.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yep. So, yeah.
Big Daddy Dallas says Dan Lanning will miss you.
Yeah, we'll see him in CFP, I'm sure.
Randy, how the F was this not tabled earlier?
I don't know. Other stuff to talk about?
Yeah. Frogfather says, Kansas City, here comes Jake. Here Jake comes, yeah. Good luck, Jake.
Thanks, Joey Binko.
Yeah. Jake just made it through, headed to KC. Wow, cheaper than Eugene for sure.
Yeah, don't get me started on Oregon taxes, dude. It's a joke.
Our Oregon tax is bad.
Oh, it's terrible, dude. It's what's funny too is obviously we're in like the political cycle, right? So we see all these like politic ads and things like that. And so all the ads in Oregon are about like, oh, the tax code, and you're getting screwed on taxes for your gas and your houses and your rent and yada yada yada. And it's like, dude, like, bro, this state is not that complicated. You guys just make it really complicated with the taxing system. And it's just so unnecessary with what's taxed and what's not. And I mean, you gotta, like, it's everything from going to the DMV to like, it's something like Oregonians pay like 40 cents or 30 cents or something in tax at the pump or whatever. Like it's a ridiculous amount of tax working in Oregon right now.
Well, and I think in Missouri, don't you have the opportunity your income tax should be much lower?
Yeah, I think I have to look at it, and I haven't had the chance to really dive into it. But
the state sales tax, isn't the state sales tax in Oregon zero? There is no state sales tax in Missouri. It's outrageous. It's like
sales tax. Yeah, so the sales tax in Missouri is 4, but I believe there's no income tax
in Missouri. There's income tax in Missouri for sure. I think it depends on what you make.
Yeah, I got to look at it. Like I said, I'm not super educated on it, but it's definitely cheaper if you look at just overall if you compare the two, it's cheaper, but it's also, again, that's just a really deep pool and depends how you look at it overall.
It's that switch of Oregon has no state sales tax.
Yeah.
Missouri has far less income tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you flip it, and
yeah.
The big win in Missouri is if you own a home, the property taxes are pretty low.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And if you earn a lot of money, if you're a big earner, Missouri's a better state for income tax.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
so driving out tomorrow, leaving at 4 a.m., one stopping in Salt Lake overnight, staying with a buddy. And we'll be there Saturday night around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then Sunday, we'll get to walk through our house, our new place. Google Fiber gets set up on Sunday afternoon. Hoping to get the set up Sunday afternoon, and should be right back to it on Monday. So only question is how long I'm going to have to wait for my stuff. hoping it's not the latest day can show up is June 13th. I'm hoping it's before that. So we'll see.
June 13th? That would be a disaster.
Yeah, it would take a while. So
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see, bro.
You can pump your own gas in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing that everyone always talks about with Oregon. That was such a weird thing to have to get used to, is that in Oregon, like at Costco in Oregon, they split the gas pumps in half. What the left side of the Costco gas station is they pump the gas for you. The right side is self-serve. And so the right side is always more busy than the left side because people want to pump their own gas. So it's weird. Yeah.
I don't want somebody pumping my gas.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. I don't want them touching. You don't even have to get out of the car. They take your car. They ask you what gas you want. They pump it for you, the whole thing.
Dallas wants to know what side of Kansas City, Missouri or Kansas?
Missouri.
Ryan Duffy, Olathe, good golf.
Not Olathe, no. But there is good golf in Olathe, yes.
Ozark National and Paynes Valley, much closer. Must-do trip, correct.
Yeah,
Paynes
I've heard
Valley.
Ozark is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Tornado Alley, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, tornadoes. I really hope that you have a good, sturdy house.
Renting, not buying, so is what it is.
Yeah, weather radios are a must in Kansas City. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Whew. Finally, Gabriel says, I'm curious, would you ever go to Burrowhead Stadium? I honestly would do that if I live there, not in the summer. You gonna go to a Chiefs game, Jake? Or
maybe
you're a Missouri Tiger fan.
Yeah, now that I'm moving there, I'm gonna get a Mahomes jersey, a Bobby Witt Jr. jersey, a KC Mavericks jersey, probably an Oklahoma State jersey, just because vicinity. I mean, why not, right?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, why wouldn't I? And then I'll also get a Blues jersey as well.
Fuck off! Don't even joke about that. Don't even joke about that.
It's ridiculous, dude. That none of that will be happening. I'll definitely go to Kaufman. I like going to baseball games. It's an okay stadium. I'm not a football guy.
You could have moved to anywhere else. Kansas City. It's just the problem is it's an armpit. My time in St. Louis, dude, I just hated going over there. Hated it. Like. And the problem is they try to ram their shit down your throat like, oh, barbecue here. No. Food here. You're not a food town. You're a gas station town. That's honest to God. I think Kansas City has to have the record for gas stations per capita in the entire world.
Yeah, well, that's going to be an improvement on where I'm at now. So,
well, yeah, but you don't live anywhere now. Eugene is... Uncle Monty tried to warn you.
I'm aware of that. You're right. You're the best. You know everything. I understand. It's a tiny town. There's no question about it, dude. No question about it.
Kansas City is a gas station town. I'm telling you guys. You're going to eat barbecue. You're going to get fat, and you're going to shop at AM PM. Because I think that's their chain there. I could be wrong.
That's Quick Trip.
Oh, it's Quick Trip. That's right.
Quick Trip. Yeah.
Quick Trip.
QT town.
Yeah, Jake, I am a little jealous. I haven't had a fountain soda drink in I don't know how long.
Years.
QT is renowned for their fountain soda.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
You're going to crush the fountain soda there, dude.
I have a much better golf practice facility about 5 minutes from the house, so the swing will be getting worked on. Got TrackMan back. Very excited about that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's always positive.
Yep. Covered bays, heated bays, TrackMan. I'm about it.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that slice.
Yeah.
Roller food in St. Louis.
Oh. Yeah.
No. Please don't ever. St. Louis is such come and go, dude.
There was one of those in Salt Lake, dude.
Not anymore. They're all gone.
Oh, are they?
Maverick owns come and go now.
Oh. Yeah.
Giggity wants to know if there will be come and go in Kansas City.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Jake hopes.
Right. Yeah.
Jake hopes. Casey's breakfast pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you Monday, hopefully. Don't die on the way out there.
I won't.
The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime. You literally have nothing to lose because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. Look it up at theadvocates.com. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.